Motorcycle security, it's a big deal, right? In this video, I'm gonna tell you how I protect my motorcycle from being stolen. So if you have nothing to do, grab your favorite drink and stay with me. Welcome back. The security of your motorcycle should be priority number one, especially when you travel. It is so obvious because if you don't have a motorcycle, you cannot travel with it, right? As you know, I travel a lot, but I also meet many travelers here in my hometown, Varna. Unfortunately, just a few of them seriously thought about the security of their motorcycles, even though, as I said, it should be priority number one. So I can ask you, do you lock your car when you move away from it? I'm sure you do. But what about your motorcycle? Do you really believe that to lock a handlebar it's enough to protect it? If we do an experiment, a professional thief from one side and the owner of specific motorcycle on the other side, the thief will be with the tools that he needs and the owner will be with the key of the motorcycle. So my question is, what do you think? Who is going to unlock the handlebar first? I will bet that the time will be about the same. Keep in mind that we are talking about owner of the motorcycle, which is mean that he has done this thousands of times to put the key, unlock the steering, start the engine, and so on and so on. But if we make the experiment a little bit different, if we give them a motorcycle, but not the motorcycle that belongs to the rider, just a normal motorcycle here on the side. So we have the thief and we have a rider with a motorcycle and key, but this is not his motorcycle. Who is going to be faster? What do you think? Here I can bet on anything that you want to put on the table now, that the thief will be faster. With this experiment, you should be able to understand that the first barrier that you have to protect your motorcycle, your ignition key, is nothing in the hands of someone with the proper tools. Here you might decide to disagree with me and say, okay, fair enough, Pavlion, I'm sure that the thief will be faster, but I have immobilizer, so he cannot start the engine. Yeah, that is true, even though with a specific software, the immobilizer will be eliminated just for a few minutes. But let's assume that the thief hasn't got any software. What will stop him from pushing your motorcycle to the next street or even riding it with the help of friends with another motorcycle behind or even load it in a van? I hope that you start looking in the right direction. Nothing is 100% secured or guaranteed, but the more levels of protection you add, the better. I personally always use 3 different levels of protection. Number 1, preventive thinking. Number 2, hardware. And number 3, software. And actually I apply it in the same order. First is the preventive thinking, then is the hardware, and the final defense is the software. So let me explain to you with more details what exactly I mean. Number 1, preventive thinking. I always try to find a proper place to park my motorcycle. To be very difficult or almost impossible for someone to push it away and load it in a van. So for example, I can park it on the sidewalks, next to the buildings, or in front of big restaurant, coffee, or places with a lot of people. If I cannot find such a places or they don't exist in the area that I plan to park, I will look for another. It could be a petrol station in front of big bank or administrative building with security cameras or any other place that will help me or will eliminate the possibility for someone to come and just push my motorcycle like that. Number 2, hardware. I always use something to lock my motorcycle. Chains are maybe the best solution, but they are too heavy, especially when you travel. But the disc locks like this are, even though they are not light, they are nothing compared to the luggage that we carry when we travel. So I don't mind this 200 or 300 grams because they will stay on my motorcycle anyway. The disc lock that I use is from ABUS, the model is Granix 68 Victory X Plus. I keep it always on the bike. Because of its shape, it will be very difficult to break it, especially if you put it in a difficult to access place. I cannot guarantee that this is the best option on the market today, but it's the one that served me for many years without any problems. I will link it in the description down below. Number 1 was location. You need to find a proper location, eventually with a lot of people around, and difficult or almost impossible to be reached with a van. Then you will use a step number 2 or level number 2, you will use your hardware. you will lock your motorcycle, disc lock or whatever you decided to carry with you. This will prevent someone from pushing your motorcycle on the side from the place that you parked. And after all of this is done, level 1 and level 2, you come to level 3, which is software. Software could be an alarm system or GPS tracker. Or maybe the best option will be to have both at the same time. But they also have some downsides. First, they are very expensive. And second, if you don't ride your motorcycle every day, if you leave it for a couple of weeks or months, they can drain your battery. Of course, if they are directly connected to the battery. Also, modern alarms, they might sound fantastic on paper, but the reality is a little bit different. Thieves usually use some very simple techniques to disarm it, and it's not that difficult, especially if they are not installed properly in advance. So again, this is good to have, but it's not guaranteed like anything on the market today. The software solution that I use is from Monimoto. It is an alarm and GPS tracker at the same time, but it works a little bit different than the rest of the alarms. It is an alarm that will only work if your motorcycle starts moving without you knowing about it. Let me explain how it works. You have the device and an additional chip. As long as they are together a few meters, the alarm won't be activated. But if the motorcycle moves without the chip, it will send a notification on your app and call you on your telephone. Also, it will start sending GPS location points every 5 minutes, so you will increase the chances to find your motorcycle significantly. It is important to know that it's completely independent of your motorcycle power source. It has its own batteries that can be monitored from the app. In the fact, it will send you notification when the voltage drops, of course, not at the last moment. This is the system that I have used for many years and never had any issues with it. In fact, this is the third modification that I have. The first was like a cylinder, this is the second, and this is the last version. You can see how much they reduced the size in the last few years. Also, the last version now comes with a rechargeable battery, which is great plus. The key battery, or the FOB as they call it, should last at least 2 years. Also, it is very easy to set everything. It takes like 15 to 20 minutes. Everything that you need is your telephone. You need to download the app on your telephone. Then you need the device and the key fob. That's everything. They need to stay together, one next to another, and through the app you can do it very easy. As I said, it's not a rocket science. Also, it comes with a SIM card inside. It's already loaded with a specific plan. I think it costs like 36 euros per year, and it covers almost whole world. There are specific countries that does not work, but 36 euros per year, I think it's a fair price. You can use one of your SIM cards if you like, but I don't think that you'll be able to make it cheaper. Yeah, as I said, so far, never had any problems, nothing at all. Also, in the app, they have fantastic customer service. They've got even chat. So, for a few minutes, you can solve all the problems that you can have. Also, the frequently asked questions section is very big and long, very detailed. Once again, for those who might be confused a bit, it has two different parts. It's the device itself and the chip or the key fob. The device supposed to stay somewhere in your motorcycle. So find a proper place to hide it. Not here on the top, of course. It should be hidden somewhere. And the chip you have to keep with you. I usually put it on my motorcycle documents and just in my pocket. And if the motorcycle move away, if this device move away without the chip being nearby, the alarm is activated automatically. You don't need to do anything. So it is not a voice alarm, beep, 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 beep. It will just send notification to your app and start calling on your telephone. So when you see your telephone, oh, Monimoto is calling, you will know that your motorcycle moved away without your permission. The device and the key fob are dust and waterproof. They've got all certificates. Also, the charging point here, it has this rubber cap here. Let me show it to you here. So if you remove it, you can charge your battery and then you can have it again. So as I said, you don't need to worry about it. It's water and dust proof. One of the pros of this device compared to others is, as I said, it has its own battery. So it does not rely on your motorcycle, which means that you can have it on any motorcycle or car that you have at the moment. So if, for example, you decided that today you will ride to the town with your sport motorcycle, you can have Monimoto there. Tomorrow, if you plan to go on an adventure with your adventure motorcycle, you can have the Monimoto as well. You can use it in your car, your truck, your van, anything that you can have. It's like a multi-purpose alarm for all properties that you have. In fact, you can put it even in your wife's pocket and you can track her where she is going. Of course, this is a joke, but technically it is possible. So these are the free security levels that I always use, and I never had any problems with my motorcycles or cars. In the description down below, I will leave you links to Monimoto device and also the disc lock from Abus. These are affiliate links, and I'm gonna earn a small commission if you decided to buy these things, but it's not gonna hurt your price in any way. It will be the same. You can even have a small discount. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Press like or dislike, whatever the video deserves. If you subscribe, even better. See you in the next one. Ciao.